My phone has been blowing up for weeks. Unknown numbers, blocked calls, texts, and even messages through friends I haven't spoken to in years. All of that is happening for one single reason. Because my ex-wife wants my help. I've known this since the first day I received a text from her brother. But I did not respond. And I have not responded to any of her tries. It's been a year since we officially got divorced. A year since I finally got rid of the worst mistake of my life. She took so much from me that I might actually never be able to recover. Yet she has no shame and is trying to contact me like nothing happened. She keeps begging me to talk to her. She even got her family involved so I would listen to them, like I owe them something. I know what you're thinking. Why not just talk to her once and see what she wants? Or why not just help her? But when I tell you what she did to me, you will not be asking this question. Every time I see her name, all those emotions I have buried inside of me start coming out. I kid you not, I hate her more than anything. If I could go back in time, I would kill myself if it meant stopping me from getting involved with her. That is the amount of regret I have for her. But she is also the same woman whom I loved more than anything. Someone for whom I would have brought heaven and hell together. I sacrificed everything for her, but in the end, she did not have a morsel of love left for me. I cannot explain to you how much that hurt. I still have not processed all that fully. So no matter how desperate she sounds, no matter how much she pleads, I will not go back. Not for a phone call, not for a visit, not even for a single conversation. She destroyed me once. She doesn't get a second chance. And before you think I'm being cruel, let me explain how I got here. You can call me Julian. When I first met my ex-wife, Maris, I thought she was everything I had been waiting for. She was beautiful, full of life, and reckless in a way that made her seem exciting compared to the careful, safe world I grew up in. I was drawn to her like a moth to a flame. Before long, I wasn't just in love, I was consumed. She seemed like the perfect person for me, and at that point, she never did anything to prove otherwise. That is the reason I gave up so much for her. If only I had seen what kind of person she actually was or would turn out to be, I would have run far away from her. My family never approved of her. They said she was trouble. My mom told me that she is not the kind of person I should marry. I don't know what they saw in her that I couldn't see. Maybe I was blind in love, or maybe I'm just the worst judge of character. I don't know. But when my family asked me to choose either them or her, I chose her. When they cut me off, I thought I could live with it. I told myself this is the price of true love, that sacrifices are worth it if she's by my side. I even moved states to start a life with her, away from everyone I had ever known, building our future from scratch. Every brick I laid in that life was for her. Now, I'm not really blaming all my decisions on her. I still choose to do those things and I have to live with that. I accept that I made a terrible mistake. There's nothing I can do about it now other than regret it. Anyway, for a while I believed it was worth it. We had the kind of marriage people envied on the surface. We smiled at parties. We kissed in public. Everyone thought I had found my soulmate. And I thought so too, until the day I found out the truth. It started with small suspicions, late nights, excuses that didn't add up, phone calls that lasted too long, and her getting mad at me when I asked who it was. Even though I knew all her friends and have never really been a jealous person, she started doing more and more things that made me suspicious. But I never did anything about it. I felt it was not right to be suspicious of her based on those few things. I couldn't imagine her betraying me, but reality doesn't care about imagination. I found out the truth in the cruelest way possible. While doing some work, I accidentally almost used her email while she was logged in. Before I switched away, something caught my eye. It was test results she had gotten recently. I didn't remember her going to the hospital, so I checked. It turned out she had taken an STD test and gotten back a positive result. At first I thought there had to be some mistake. I didn't have an STD and she didn't have one either. So the only way it could have gotten to her was if one of us had cheated on the other. I refused to believe that she would betray me like that. So instead of doing detective work or anything like that, I just confronted her. I thought she'd deny it, cry, beg for forgiveness, something. Anything to show she cared about the devastation she had caused. Instead, she did not even try any of that. She just kind of gave up and let out a huge sigh. She then told me it was bound to happen sooner or later. She just completely accepted that she'd slept with someone and gotten an STD. There wasn't even a bit of regret or pain in her voice, like none of it really mattered to her. Do you know what it feels like to have your entire life dismissed like that? To realize the vows you sacrificed your family for, the marriage you built your world around, meant nothing to the person you trusted most? And she wasn't finished. She twisted the knife deeper, comparing me to the man she had slept with, smiling as she said he was more fun, more passionate, and that he made her feel alive in ways I never could. She said he was more of a man than I would ever be, and told me she should have married someone like that. I'm not even exaggerating. When I asked her if she had no shame in saying all that to me, she just laughed. She told me that the excitement she felt from all that was fully worth the pain she would have to go through now. That was the moment my heart broke, in a way it could never be repaired. Something in me shut down. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't cry. I just knew our marriage was dead. So I filed for divorce. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. She wasn't satisfied with destroying me emotionally. She wanted to take me down financially too. She fought tooth and nail in court, and in the end she walked away with a good chunk of my money. Honestly, at that point I would have given anything to get rid of her. She felt more like a curse in my life than a person. And what's worse, she wasn't ashamed of it. She bragged about it, told people she had leveled up. She paraded her new lifestyle, flaunting it in my face whenever she could, as if to prove she had won. I was actually really close with her family. I thought they actually cared about me too, but they backed her completely. When I tried to explain why I was divorcing her, they told me I was weak, that real men forgive their wives, that she just made one mistake and I was a fool for throwing everything away over it. Her dad, Stefan, told me that forgiving is a part of life and I needed to take her back. No kidding. This man stood in front of me and defended his daughter like she had crashed a car or something. She admitted to cheating and said she liked it. What kind of family defends that? I was painted as the bitter, insecure husband who couldn't handle the idea that his wife was desirable to other men, while she was made out to be the victim of my controlling nature. But the truth didn't matter. The damage was done. I didn't care what anyone else thought about this. I was too depressed to care. Over time, I tried to rebuild. It wasn't easy. I had nothing left of my old life. No family, no money, no wife. And while I was scraping myself together, she was out there living her best life, or so it seemed. After over a year of struggling, I made some progress. I am definitely not over it, and have not forgotten a second of what happened. But I am doing fine. I was finally happy with my life, content with what I had. But I guess she smelled it from miles away. Because right then the texts and calls started. I tried to ignore it because I don't even want to see her face. But it has gotten way too annoying. She refuses to give up. All I know is that she is in the hospital and wants my help. She just says she wants to talk once, but I don't even want to give her that opportunity because she doesn't deserve it. So guys, all I wanted to ask was, what do I do? Should I just continue to ignore her till she stops? Or should I just get it over with, even though I really don't want to? What's the right decision here? Comments. Brother Danger says, people like that don't reach out unless they are serious about stuff. I think she is genuinely in some sort of trouble. You should at least see her once. You said she is in the hospital. What if she doesn't have long left and just wants your help? You could say no, or she could apologize to you. That would be a really good thing for you. I think you should seriously consider it, OP. I don't think it's a bad deal to spend a few minutes looking at her face. It can't really do that much damage to you. Webbait1. I wrote here about a week ago. A few new things have come to light. My ex-wife Maris's father actually came to see me. Let me tell you what happened. The calls and texts keep coming at all hours. Sometimes it's her, sometimes it's her family. Her dad, Stefan, has started calling me personally. This was way too annoying. No matter how many times I asked them to leave me alone, nobody really did. When I kept ignoring him, he showed up outside my place and asked me for 10 minutes of my time. At that point, I had to give in. He then proceeded to tell me that his daughter just made one mistake and I cannot punish her like this when she actually needs me. I almost laughed. A mistake? Is that what we're calling it now? Sleeping with another man behind my back, catching an STD, laughing in my face about how the excitement was worth the pain. That's just a mistake? I told Stefan flat out, your daughter burned every bridge with me. She didn't just cheat. She made me into the fool, the villain. She humiliated me, broke me, and then bragged about it. I don't owe her a single thing. But he did not care about what I had to say. He then hit me with something strong. He told me that Maris was hospitalized and was suffering. He wasn't even sure if she would make it or not, or how long she had, and according to the doctors, she might not have long. He told me that I needed to see her, even if I had to think of it as her last wish, because it might as well be. I told him I hated her, but I did not wish anything like this upon her. Honestly, I do feel bad about it. But what does this have to do with me? That's what I asked him. Why would she want to see me? He said. That's for me to find out. He added that she has already suffered enough. I told him, this is not karma for what she did to me, and he doesn't get to phrase it that way. He has no right to try to guilt trip me into doing what she wants. And she has no right to ask me anything at all. He said he understands the things his daughter has done, but she has paid for it. He said that the guy she left me for, seriously, his name is Cash, left her months later. Why would you trust a guy called Cash? Obviously, he left her as soon as he was done with her. But here's the fun part. He did not just leave, he left her broke. He took everything. Yes, every bit of money she took from me was stolen by him, and then he vanished. Stefan said his daughter has been through hell and back, but just as things started to get normal, she got hit with this. Now she might not even survive it. So he thinks it's fair to ask me to do one thing for her. He begged me to go with him. I told him I'll think about it, and I sent him on his way. Honestly, I think she is in trouble, and she needs my help. She has no money, and she probably needs me to take care of her. I cannot understand why she thinks I am going to help her after everything she did. She thinks I'm just going to forget about it and jump right back in. Honestly, like I said, I'm not a bad guy. I don't want her to pass away or anything. I don't hate her that much, but I don't care enough about what happens to her either. So I'm a bit conflicted. I don't know if I should see her or not. There is a good chance that she is going to confess. If she wants my help, I'm sure she is going to apologize. I really don't care about an apology. That's not going to do anything. But I could really work with an admission of guilt. During our divorce, she lied to other people, including my friends and family, saying she never cheated and I had no proof. So many still think I'm a liar. Her confession would be a surefire way of letting everyone know who she really is, and she gets to see me too. So it's a win-win, right? What do you think about this update? Update 2. I gave it a lot of thought. I kept thinking about what would be the best thing to do, and then I made the decision that I should see Maris, since if I didn't, she and her family would keep annoying me. So I didn't really have a choice anymore. Also, I had a reason to see her myself. If I got a confession, that would be worth seeing her face. For I walked into that hospital room, and for a second I barely recognized her. This was not the same woman who smirked at me across the divorce table, the same woman who gloated about how I wasn't enough for her. She looked small, fragile, and almost hollow. The brightness she used to carry was gone. Her skin was pale, her hair was thin, and there was this heaviness in her eyes that no amount of makeup or charm could hide. I'll tell you what, up until the point I saw her, I believed there was a small chance that she wasn't even sick. But I believed her as soon as I saw her. She was definitely sick. Surprisingly, when she saw me, her face lit up. She was happy to see me. She said she could not believe I came. She held out her hand, and I reluctantly grabbed it. She saw my reaction and said that she knows she doesn't deserve this, and that she was being punished for everything she did to me. But she still wanted to be a bit selfish and see me. She started crying and told me that leaving me was the worst mistake of her life. She should never have done that. She said she could look for years and still not find someone like me. She admitted to everything I wanted, the cheating, the STD, and the way she left me and tried to ruin my name, even though she made up lies to take a big chunk of my money. I asked her if this was all she wanted, to apologize, because it's a little too late to do that. She said she wasn't expecting me to forgive her, or anything like that. but she has always wanted to say this to me. At this point, owning up to her mistake wasn't something that would help her, but she still wanted to do it. I'll be honest, it hit me harder than I expected. I wasn't really expecting her to be this open about what she did, or this apologetic. But I also knew that the only reason she was doing this was for my help. So I asked her to stop with the acting and to just be honest and ask for what she wants from me. She said that she is pretty sure she is not going to make it. I asked her to be a little positive. She said she is being positive, that she has a little time left, and she is happy that God gave her a chance to make amends. She said that all she wants from me is to be here with her. She only wants me to spend as much time with her as I can before she passes. There is nothing that will save her at this point, so she wants to spend the time she has left being happy with me. When I asked her why me, she said that she wants to spend all this time with the person who loves her the most in this world, and that is me. Nobody loved her like I did. And weirdly, she loved me just as much, even though she did what she did. I told her that unfortunately, I don't really love her anymore, so there's no point. She said that she knows I still care about her, otherwise I never would have shown up. I told her I'm not sure if I want to spend time with her. She asked me to think about it. She said to consider it her last request, if I have to, as it might as well be one. So that's how the meeting went. Honestly, I would love to believe that after all this Maris has turned a new leaf, but that's not really true. Even on normal days, she can manipulate people like she has strings on them, and now she has the power to guilt everyone by saying she will pass away. So obviously, she is trying to manipulate me. What I don't understand is why she is doing all that just for me to spend some time with her. She can't really have changed, can she? Update 3. Hi guys, it's been a week, and let me tell you, this is not going to be a pretty update. I hope you remember that I recorded everything Mara said during our last update, because immediately after that, I cut out all the sob story and only left the confession part, which I sent to everyone who didn't believe me. Yes, I understand that it's not a great thing to do to someone who might pass away soon, but that's not even the ugly part. That comes later. And honestly, to me, Maris deserved to be exposed. Think of it as her taking responsibility for everything she did to me. Some people were shocked to see the kind of person Maris was. Some were not happy with me doing this to her while she was in the hospital fighting for her life. Honestly, I couldn't care less about it. A few hours after I sent people the recording, her family found out and they started blowing up my phone. Stefan called me a monster. He said I was kicking someone when they're already down. Her sister messaged me saying I was cruel and vindictive and that no real man would ever do what I just did. According to them, I've condemned Maris to die in shame. Good. She spent years trying to bury me in shame. Now she knows what it feels like. But here's the part that really threw me off. Maris herself called me again. I thought she was going to scream at me, but she just asked when I was coming to see her again. She even said that if I had just asked her if I wanted a confession, she would have given it without hesitation. Just like you, I was very confused by her reaction. I went to see her. She smiled when she saw me, just like last time. She asked me why I was surprised. I told her I assumed she was going to be mad after what I did to her. She said that I could never hurt her. She looked weaker than she had the week before, and she looked at me like I was her entire world. She said she had been praying that I would show up. She reached for my hand again, but this time I didn't take it. She said that she fully deserved what I did to her, and more. No amount of apologizing or revenge was going to make up for what she did, but she apologized and said that's all she can do at this point. She started apologizing all over again. She said it's clear that I don't love her like I did before she caused that. She said all she wants is for me to be by her side. But there is one thing she does want, and was hoping it would happen before she passes away. She said she was hoping I would forgive her before her time was up. She told me she still loved me, and that she just wanted me by her side. I immediately told her no. I told her she doesn't get to ruin my life, destroy my name, mock me, cheat on me, steal from me, and then crawl back to me when it's convenient. I told her she had her chance when I gave her everything I had, and she laughed in my face. I told her she was the worst mistake of my life, and that if it comes to that, then she deserves to die alone. I said that I never wished this on her, that I never wanted her to be in pain, but no matter what, I am not going to do anything to ease any of it. If she has to die with regret, then that's her problem, not mine. She started crying and begged me not to do this, to just stay with her. She said she needs me, and that she doesn't have long. Honestly, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I felt bad for her, really I did. But it was not fair of her to ask me to do this, because she doesn't deserve it. I told her I'm sorry, but I cannot do anything else for her, or show up again. I left her crying. I cannot explain how tough it is. She is someone I loved for a very long time. I have never wanted to see her in pain, but once again, it is not my duty to help her. You can hate me if you want to for doing this, but I don't care wait for. It's been over a month, and Maris passed away yesterday. Her dad came to tell me himself. He told me this news probably made me happy. I told him it didn't. Just because I didn't love his daughter anymore doesn't mean I wanted her to pass away. I told him I was hoping she would survive. He then became very emotional and grabbed my collar. He said I hated her and I wanted her to die, and that was why I left her in pain when she begged me to forgive her and stay with her. I told him I couldn't do that to myself. I loved Maris 1,000 times more than she ever loved me. I still cared a little about her. If I had spent some time there, there's no telling how I would feel by the end of it. I cannot put myself through hell for her again. I already did that once, so I decided not to get involved. Seeing what I've already been through, he out of all people should understand my decision. I then asked him to calm down and remove his hands. He calmed down but started tearing up. He said he didn't care how I felt. His daughter was dying, so I should have done it just for her sake. She wasn't asking for much. I told him I had nothing more to tell him. Her whole family hates me with a passion now. They feel that I could have let her die in peace and instead let her die with regret. They call me a coward and a monster. But I don't regret what I did. I did what I felt was best for me. Also, I wasn't ready to forgive her, and I wasn't going to lie to her just to please her before she died. I'm sorry if you are disappointed in my choice, but I made it and I am standing by it. Now I can finally start moving on. Lastly, before I go, I want to thank all of you for your support. It helped a lot. Comments. Conquered King says, I cannot understand how hard this decision must have been for you, OP. But I think you did the right thing. I don't think you should have lied to her, especially during a situation like that. Also, just because she was suffering doesn't mean she has any right to get anything from you. Nobody has the right to tell you what you should have done. I think you made the right choice by choosing to move on instead of getting involved. Don't listen to her family. They have every right to be mad. They lost their daughter, so obviously they do not see eye to eye with you.